This is a true story sent in by one of my viewers. My name does not matter, but I need to tell you the absolute truth about the movies you let your children watch. I used to work as a senior technical director at Pixar animation studios during the late 1990s. Everyone thinks Pixar is a magical place filled with brilliant artists and giant computers. We were told we were making history. Toy Story was the very first fully computer-animated feature film, but I quickly learned that the groundbreaking technology was actually just a cover for something deeply ancient and incredibly dark. It happened during the final months of production on the first movie. The digital rendering process was taking way too long, and our massive computers kept crashing inexplicably. We were completely behind schedule. One night my supervisor took me down to the restricted sub-basement located far below the main servers. I thought we were going to fix a hardware issue, but it was not a tech room. It was a dark, freezing cold concrete chamber. I stood in the shadows and watched the lead directors and top executives standing in a circle around a small wooden table. On that table sat the physical vintage toys, a pull-string cowboy doll, and a plastic spaceman, and they were not programming or coding. They were chanting in a language I had never heard before. They were performing a very real and very dark occult ritual. They were not just animating characters on a screen, they were summoning actual demonic entities from the dark void and binding their souls directly into the digital wireframes of the movie models. The executives had discovered that modern CGI is the absolute perfect digital cage for these ancient creatures. The reason the animation in Toy Story looked so unbelievably lifelike and revolutionary for its time was because the characters were actually alive inside the machines. But here is the most terrifying part of my confession. The ritual did not just stay inside the walls of the studio. The movie itself is a massive global summoning circle. When you sit your child down in front of the television and press play, you are opening a direct portal into your own home. The flashing lights, the specific color palettes, and the hidden audio frequencies in the catchy songs are carefully designed to break down the spiritual barriers of your living room. You know how the entire premise of the movie is that toys come alive when you are not looking. That is not a fun, innocent childhood fantasy. It is a strict, literal warning. When your child watches that movie, the dark entities trapped on the screen are given permission to cross over. They use the energy of your child's attention to manifest in the real world and attach themselves to the physical plastic toys sitting in the bedroom. Have you ever walked into your kid's room and found a doll sitting in a completely different spot than where you left it? Have you ever felt something cold staring at you from the bottom of the toy box in the middle of the night? It is not your imagination, and you are not going crazy. You invited them in. I left the company immediately after I saw what was happening in that basement. They forced me to sign endless legal documents threatening my life if I ever spoke about the render room. But I cannot stay quiet anymore while millions of kids watch these movies every single day. Please throw away the plastic dolls and delete the movies from your screens. Your children think their toys are their best friends, but they are actually sleeping in the exact same room as dangerous ancient monsters.